Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Sabby and this is Beautifully Broken. Today is Mental Monday. So today we'll be going over some tools for codependency. Hey, I'm Sabby and this is Beautifully Broken. If you're new here, I do videos every Monday and Saturdays. On Mondays I do Mental Mondays and on Saturdays I do Serial Saturdays, where I cover a serial killer that is fictional or non-fictional, and I go over why I think they did what they did. So if you're interested in true crime and serial killers, subscribe. And if you know someone who suffers with their mental health, or you do, definitely subscribe. I did a video like this a few weeks ago, about a month ago, explaining codependency, what it is, my experience with it, and today I'm just going to be going over briefly some tools that will actually help you and kind of give you like the big picture of why you need these tools to help heal codependency. Essentially what it is you become codependent due to a form of emotional or physical abandonment as a child. Your parents weren't there to self-soothe you or mirror appropriate emotional responses for you, so you then have sort of a warped view of how relationships in your life, love relationships, familial relationships, friendships, everything, how they look and feel. It's basically an unconscious need for constant approval and love. It's a way to self-soothe yourself and become your own parent, if that makes any sense. Oftentimes we look to romantic relationships to heal those codependent wounds that we might have. So in doing that, we're seeking their validation, we're seeking their love. An example would be, and I did this in a video called Are You an Attention Seeker? That's also a codependency video, so you may want to check that out as well, and I'll link it up here now. But essentially what it is if you were ignored as a child by your parents, then you're going to constantly be seeking approval and validation when someone is ignoring you. You may come across as clingy and be like, say you text someone and they don't text you back, or they're ghosting you or whatever. It's like your internal child, your inner child, is seeing that situation as how you were as a kid. So that inner child is reacting to, wait a second, my parent isn't giving me love, I feel abandoned. That's kind of like a general overview of what codependency is and kind of where it stems from and how it may look in your life right now. When you live in fear, you're constantly going to be doing something to seek something. Here are some quick tips on how to heal your codependency. The first one, and I think the most important one, is you have to validate your own feelings. You can't look to someone else to validate how you're feeling. And a lot of the times, if you feel a certain way, it's not someone else's job to agree or disagree with you, actually. If you have a certain opinion, it's not their job to agree or disagree. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. So, for example, say right now, I'm feeling super anxious, and I know why I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling anxious due to a current personal matter, and there's nothing I can do. It's out of my control. I can't control it. The best that I can do right now for myself is go, okay, I'm honoring this feeling. So the second thing is you want to honor that feeling. All right, I'm feeling anxious. Then you want to sit with it and go, okay, I'm feeling anxious and I'm scared and I'm worried because I don't know what's happening. Okay, if you don't know what's happening and you're scared and you're worried, then you go, okay, I'm going to sit here with it and let myself feel anxious for a little bit, because it's normal and natural. As human beings, we have a tendency to just stop our feelings because we want it to go away. We're like, I'm feeling anxious, I'm freaking out, make it stop. But really, it can tell you something. So what mine's telling me is, I have a fear of abandonment, and so right now I'm feeling abandoned, and I'm feeling especially emotionally abandoned. So I know it has less to do with the person who's making me feel that way and more to do with when I was a child and how, both my parents, did their best, but things happen in adults' lives, right? Not every parent is given a handbook, and I say that all the time. But my emotions and my sensitivity and my need for nurturing wasn't always there. So I'm seeking nurturing and comfort and emotional validation, both physically and emotionally. So I know where it's coming from. The reason why I know where it's coming from is I ask myself, okay, who does this person remind me of? And I stop and I go, okay, it reminds me of this parent. Now I know the deeper wound that I need to heal. Now, once you move through that feeling, then decide afterwards how you want to feel about it. So I've moved through it. You know what's weird? I'm actually doing it like on camera because I was feeling anxious. I moved through it and I'm going, all right, how am I going to decide to feel now? Well, if it's out of my control and there's nothing I can do and I've done my best, then at this point, I have to just let it go. And here's another really important point I want to make is it's not someone else's job to show you love and validate your feelings or validate your feelings of love. It isn't. We may look to someone else, like if someone isn't showing us love and affection in the way that we want it or the way that we expect it to be or the way that we think it should look like, that's not on them. People express love in different ways. And you have to be okay with that. It's not gonna look how you want it to look. And if at that point you express your needs and your boundaries and nothing is done about it, then be comfortable enough to walk away and say, okay, I'm not gonna tolerate this and this and this. So some physical actions you can take on healing your codependency is create boundaries. This is how you set a boundary. Say you have a friend that texts you all day, every day. I'm talking like crack text you, and when you don't respond, they just blow up your phone. Setting a boundary. Like, hey, I've seen all your messages. I will respond to them, but right now I'm kind of dealing with X, Y, and Z, and I'm not able to get to it. I will respond to you when I can. Also, it's okay to say no. If you genuinely, I said this in my last video, if you genuinely do not want to do something, you can say no. If all your friends are going out and they're drinking and you don't really feel like drinking, just say no. Another big one, and this one used to be really prominent for me, if someone you care about is going through a problem, you can't fix it for them. You don't need to fix everything for them. You can very gently let them know, be like, hey, I know you're going through a rough time. Let me know if you need anything. Done. Don't try to solve their problems for them. And the last one is fear of abandonment and how to toggle with this one. So fear of abandonment is, and I'll make a longer video on this, but really quick, it's when a parent has abandoned you physically or emotionally, hence codependency. If someone isn't willing to treat you how you need to be treated, don't be afraid to leave. You don't need them to survive. You don't need them to be happy. You don't need them for anything. All the things that you look for in another person to complete you, you can give to yourself. And the last one is healthy narcissism. And by that, I mean put yourself first. Ask yourself, what do I want today? What do I need today? How do I feel today? What do I want to do today? Ask yourself that. Start doing and feeling and saying the things that you want to do because you feel like doing it. So tell me, when's the last time you asked yourself how you felt? Not how someone else feels. How do you feel? And that's all I have for you guys today. It's a pretty quick video. I just wanted to give some tools and examples of codependency and how you can heal from it. And if you found this video helpful or you want me to do something, like if you see a segment in this that you want me to do a longer video on, comment below and I'll definitely do it. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you guys soon.